foremost, all praises, glory, honor, thanksgiving. How about Shema Mashiach Yahushua? Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. I'm saying, back out here again. These highways and byways. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm gonna just get right into it, man. You know what I mean? Right into it. Let's see. Let's deal with. Let's deal with the zeal of the prophets, man. You know, a lot of people think prophets are supposed to be sweet and nice. They're supposed to be handsome and good looking, charming. You know, a true prophet is not any of those things, man. So how you gonna be able to tell a man of the Lord? How you gonna be able to do that? Is he gonna be smooth talking, got an eloquent speech, man? Is he gonna have like a nice trim beard and, you know, clean clothes? You know, like the scripture saying, James, you know, he got on the gay clothing, man. You know, people, see, this is the problem with people, man. They think gain is godliness. So with the perception of thinking that gain is godliness, people gonna look at somebody who got gain and listen to them concerning the things of the Most High, because they think, because they got, you know, social status, riches and wealth and fame, that the Most High dealing with. But it's far from the truth, man. It's contrary. See, a real prophet ain't gonna be known in his own country, man, like Messiah. You know what I'm talking about? Look, man, I'm trying to tell you, man, like, all right? A real prophet ain't gonna be known in it. See, they didn't even know he was the Son of God, man. They didn't know he was the Son of God. They thought he was just a prophet, man. They thought he was Jeremiah or Elijah. You know what I'm talking about? That's what they thought, man. Let me get some precepts, man. All right, let me get some precepts real quick through the spirit and power. Yeah, I take notes, man. See, I don't just come out here running my grape. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta be prepared. You gotta prepare what to say. All right, let's get since I mentioned James, let me start there, man. Starting James, man. This is James chapter 2. I'll start at verse 1. It says, my brethren, have not faith of our Adonai, Yahushua Hamashiach, the Adonai of glory, with respect of persons. Okay, so don't have faith with respect to persons, man. Don't be partial in your faith, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what. See, that's evil. You got respect to persons in your faith, man. It says, for if there come unto you, unto your assembly, a man with a gold ring and goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment, and ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, and say unto him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool. See, you got respect of persons if you do that, man. You partial in your faith. Okay? You gonna say to the man with the vile raiment to sit underneath your feet, with the one with gay clothing, you gonna say, come up here and sit in the front. You gonna give him a front row seat in the church. Cause you looking for somebody that could bless you financially, or maybe have a greater influence on your particular congregation or your ministry. So you what? That's basically like employing somebody that got greater skills or talents. Right? It says, verse 3, and ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing. Right? So they gonna look at somebody that has nice clothing like a rich person. Right? So they'll put that person in a position of authority and influence because they feel as though they'll have a greater reach. Because they go back to what? People thinking that gain is godliness. They thinking gain is godliness. Right? This is the deception behind false prophets and teachers, man. A false prophet and a teacher will look like they're godly, right? Because people think because they got riches that God is with them, so therefore they're gonna listen to this particular person. But the prophets will fall from that, and they ain't look nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't look nothing like that. They didn't have on no gay clothing. Right? Matter of fact, let's get that in with John the Baptist, huh? John the Baptist wasn't even like that. Okay. This is Matthew 11. I'm gonna start at verse 7. It says, and as they departed, Yahushua began to say unto the multitudes concerning John, what went ye out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaking in the wind? A reed shaking with the wind? But what went ye out to? But what went ye out for to see? A man clothed in soft raiment. Behold, they that wear soft clothing are in kings' houses. But what went ye out for to see? A prophet? Yea, I say unto you, and more than a prophet. For this is he of whom it is written, behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee. So yeah, you see how, according to scripture, John the Baptist didn't have on no gay clothing. You know, what were the people expecting? They were looking for somebody that was smooth. Right? Somebody that had on gay clothing, man. Soft raiment. Basically the way people are looking for somebody that's sent from God. If for people that are looking for a person to be sent from God, to be soft and smooth, then they ain't looking for the Most High, man. They ain't looking for God, man. They looking for something that will satisfy their flesh. But John the Baptist was far from that. That's why in the world, people don't gain followers. That brothers really don't gain followers, you know, that are basically real spiritual people, right? right? Someone that's carnal and fleshly and will speak smooth things and tell people what they want to hear, they most likely going to heap to themselves people that are of a carnal nature. You know what I'm saying? Carnal nature, man. And usually you could tell a specific church or a specific congregation that has a lot of members, right? A lot of members in their church. Because you know most likely they teaching things that got leaven in it, huh? Like you go to church on Sunday, Easter Sunday, you know they going up in there trying to hear some things that'll be smooth to them, huh? Right? They want to hear smooth things, man. Let's get that real quick. Y'all want to hear soft speeches? Y'all want to hear fair speeches? This is Isaiah 30. We'll start at verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, blind children, children that will not hear the law of Adonai, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceit. So these people, listen, the majority of people want to hear smooth things, man. Alright, they don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear things that will permit them to do the things that they want according to their flesh, man. Right? Because everybody want to save their own life. Everybody don't want to make the sacrifice to lay down their life for their friend or their family. A lot of people would not come out here and try to teach scriptures. That's why many of you people, man, ain't gonna make it, man. A lot of y'all not gonna make it. You wanna hide behind a damn keyboard, right? You wanna do sit downs all the time. You don't try to go out and do the work at all, man. Right? So what they do, they say what? Prophesy unto us, speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy deceits, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Because you know why? They don't want to be held accountable. But they're going to be held accountable anyway. You're going to be held accountable for the things that are being spoken, huh? From the prophets out here on these streets. You understand? You're going to be held accountable, man. They think because they not, if they don't hear what the prophets got to say, they're not going to be held accountable for what they do say. You can't just hide this word, this truth in a napkin. You can't bury this in the earth. Listen, the truth gonna come out whether one brother teach it or not. You understand? So they say prophets speak unto us smooth things, man. This is what they want to hear in these last days, man. They looking for somebody that's gonna scratch their itching ears, man. But let me tell you something. I ain't one of them guys, man. I'm not gonna tell you Spaniards and $5 Indians is Israelites, man. I'm not gonna do that. You're not gonna get that here from me. See, that's what they tell you. They want to try to bring. See, a lot of these Israelites ain't nothing but glorified Christians, man. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all they are, man. Glorified Christians. This is 2 Timothy chapter 4, starting at verse 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. You see that? They will what? They will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. So they're gonna what? They're gonna find teachers to tell them what they want to hear, basically. Tell them smooth things. Tell them smooth things that they want to hear that'll gratify their carnal nature. Or if the truth is too much for them, if it's too harsh, right? They water it down a little bit, like, you know, some liquor. Put some chaser in the liquor so it'll go down smoother. This is what these false prophets do, man. Add a little chaser, add some chaser to the liquor so it could be like a little nicer, so it won't burn so much going down. You know what I'm talking about? This is what they do, man. You know, put a little leaven in the doctrine. You know, add a little leaven in the 12 tribes chart, just to make it acceptable for the whole world. Right? Make it acceptable. Or include, you know, put the Gentiles in the mix to the 12 tribes chart. Right? Put a little leaven in there, and you know, this right now, we in the midst of the feast of unleavened bread, but you know, these guys out there on them highways and byways still got leaven in their doctrine. Right? You got leaven in your 12 tribes chart. Talking about Spaniards and $5 Indians is Israel. Huh? Right? Damn shame, man. Well, how long the truth been out, supposedly? Since the days of One West, y'all still stumbling on that, man? I only been in this thing for about what, 15 years? Right? Teaching on and off. And yet I've come to a greater understanding of who the tribes are more than you men that been in this thing for years, longer than me. But that ain't nothing to brag. It's just, you know, when these men are set up, you gotta question yourself, man. What, are these guys sent by the government? Right? Who sent these men, man? Talking about Hispanics as Israelites, man. What you talking about, man? Listen, man, I could go on and on with the false doctrines and leaven that they got in their doctrines that they teach, man. You could go on and on, man. It's like it never failed. But this is what they'll do in these last days. They'll get teachers that will tell the people